So I haven't really given it any thought to actually try and watch the Netflix original series. I know that House of Cards have gotten rave reviews, but I didn't feel like watching it, and I then started watching Hemlock Grove, which I should not have because that is just a really shitty show, and that kind of turned me off of actually trying the other Netflix original series. But then Orange is the New Black came up, and it was a movie review pick. I have to watch this and see if it is actually as good as the reviews have been. And I can only say I love this. This is such a good show. They've done a really, really good job of trying to do a good prison show. What I will say is that there might be a few spoilers in this because I have now watched the entire series from episode 1 to episode 13, and there are a lot of things I want to talk about that might actually spoil it for you. So if you have not seen it, I am sorry, but now you've been warned. Orange is the New Black is a story about a woman named Piper who's living with her fiance Larry, and their world gets turned upside down when she all of a sudden has to go to jail because she was briefly part of a drug cartel ring something, and she carried a lot of money across borders, and that is obviously a crime, and she got arrested for it. So this whole thing is just about her coping with going to prison and discovering new sides of herself and just trying to survive, basically. Now, there have been a lot of prison shows, and obviously one of the main things that you think about when you hear a prison television show, it's Prison Break. And I have watched Prison Break, loved the first few seasons, and then it just got really weird and I stopped watching it, which is normally what happens with me when I watch a show. This show has caught my attention from the beginning to the end. When I started watching the first episode, I thought, oh well, this just seems kind of generic, kind of boring. But the very last thing, the cliffhanger of the first episode just got me hooked, and I needed to watch every single episode. And I marathoned through all 13 episodes these last 2 days, and I love it, without a doubt. It is one of the better television series that I have seen this year, and it has managed to maintain my interest, whereas I normally just watch a bit of it and then I'm like, ugh, I'll get back to it whenever I want to. But this, I actually want another season. I want season 2. I need to know what happens, especially because the ending is so fucked up. I'm not even going to say anything more. If you've seen the ending, it is so fucked that you need another season. There are so many great things about this show, but what I like the most is the fact that it is character based. Everything revolves about these characters and how they act, how they behave, how they've come to be the person that they are today in jail, and how they progress over their time that they're there. And just everything, you get the backstory of everyone, and it stabs me in the heart every time I see one of those backstories, because you understand why they're in jail, and all the characters are just so great, and they're well played by it, just everyone. And there are so many people where you're like, well, I've seen you before, and I've seen you before, and I've seen you before. Famous actors do just as well of a job as the not so famous actors, and just everybody in general, just a stellar job at acting in this one. So many things where it's just it just captures your attention, and you cannot leave it alone. You need to watch what happens, and that is, for me, that is the sign of a good show, of a good television show. If you want to watch the next episode straight away, you know that that show has been doing something good, because you are genuinely interested in the story and in the characters. And there are a lot of television series where I'm like, oh well, I can watch it whenever I want to, but this I just needed to know. One of the things I really took from this movie was, show, was how scary jail is. Like, I don't want to go to jail, because without a doubt I would become someone's bitch, because I'm just not that confrontational. I just, no, like, I would get ruined in jail. Like ruined. And one thing that really scares me is the guards. Like, Porn Stash, he is probably the most creepy mofo I've ever seen in my entire life. He is so freaking disgusting. I just want to slap him every time I see him on my screen. And the way that he just acts like everybody in that prison just wants him because they look at him. No, that's just not how it works. You are creepy and disgusting, but you have some sort of power. It's not because you're hot or anything. And the way that he uses these women and manipulates them, and it's disgusting, and it makes me like really physically sick when I watch it. And I know that's what makes it so good, because it like everything just goes under your skin, and you get like, oh, this sucks. One of the things I really did like was I'm not going to say too much because that is going to spoil it, but the budding romance between two people in this, and their different sex. So it's not Piper and Alex. It's the guard and Daya, and I really, in the beginning, I loved those two together, and I really, like, I was shipping them hard, like really, really hard. But towards the end, you just said, this is just so fucked up. Like, how is this actual reality? You sit back and you're like, this is just too much. And everything is just so fucked up. It's like, as soon as Piper, she fixes one problem, 10 more show up. And nothing she ever does is the right thing. She always manages to fuck something up. And the thing that really, really, really broke my heart was when she was on the radio, and her fiance was on the radio talking about the things that she said, and all the friendships that she had gotten all of a sudden just disappeared because of something he said. And it's just heartbreaking. A lot of the stories and a lot of the characters are heartbreaking, and you feel for every single person on that show. For me, the excellence of this original Netflix show is the fact that they go so deep into the characters and character building, and you care about everyone. Well, I don't care about Porn Stash, but you sort of care about them because they are part of a bigger story in all. I don't really have that many negative things to say about it. Obviously, there are going to be a lot of prison cliches. There are going to be a lot of butch lesbians, and there are going to be a lot of girl backstabbing and everything. And obviously, I've never been to prison, so I don't know if it's an actual portrayal of prison. And I hope I never go to prison. That would just be so wrong. But it is, for me, a really, really good show, and I can't be all that negative towards it. I would definitely recommend it. If you do have Netflix, take your time, sit down, and if the first episode does not capture your attention, it might not be for you, but I'm pretty sure you would want to see more. Normally, I pride myself in knowing exactly what happens and being like so predictive. Oh, this is so predictive, like I totally know what's gonna happen. Somehow this ending caught me totally off guard. Anyway, definitely watch this. If you do have Netflix, take the time to watch it. I hope you enjoy it. I will probably give Orange is the New Black, like, I think I might give it actually like an 8 or 9 SXC fills out of 10. Because this is just so good. So don't miss it now that it's actually here, and let's hope and pray that there's a second season coming.